doing, folks? I hope this finds you well. It's a pleasure to be asked to sing a few songs for the Belfast Nashville Songwriting Festival. A festival that has supported and encouraged songwriters across Ireland and across the world. I'm going to be doing a few songs for you. Starting with one I wrote about the Dust Bowls in the 1930s, where families lost their homes and their livelihood to the dust clouds and the greedy bankers. My mouth feels drier than this dusty old road. Families have gone with the crops that they sowed. In this dirty ocean where only dust flows over the hope and the harvest, the hope and the harvest. And my throat feels rougher than these gravel-worn hands. What's left of a heart has now crumbled to sand. It's a cruel mistress, nature, love for what is damned. California is calling in the morning. In the morning, when the dust cloud is coming and the sky is turning black, and you can't grow those crops from the sweat off your back. They're lost neath the soil, they've never known the sun. It's no place for man when the dust clouds come. And this ain't no world for an honest man. You get more miles with your lies than you do with your hands. And those greedy bankers who stole all our land. Dust clouds are coming in the morning. For your dust cloud is coming and the sky is turning black, and you can't grow those crops from the sweat off your back. They're lost neath the soil, they've never known the sun. It's no place for man when the dust cloud comes. Your dust clouds are coming. We song there with the Dust Bowls in the 1930s, a song that got me introduced to Nashville, where I started recording my country album. And the next song I'm going to do for you is again about another great songwriter, Mr. Hank Williams, who died unbelievably at the age of 29 in 1953. It's a song I've written inspired about the life and the music of Hank Williams. You spent a night in a Las Vegas jail. I can't quite remember why, but we getting married when I get out on bail sure make this boy still dry. 2 whiskey sours for this crumpled old note, for the red eyes in Kansas and how long sunk the boats, while I listened to a song Hank Williams wrote for that woman that did him wrong. And he passed at the age of 29 in his big Cadillac well before his time. Those cheating hearts, he'll no longer pine. For this good old boy's eating jambalaya, that old doghouse way on high. He never got out of this world alive. Well, 2 more bartender, I'm starting to roll as Candy and I start to dance. No more of this cowboys drifting home and living his life on chance. But this kind of living is all that I know, but there ain't much work for an old rodeo. But your wealth never saved no souls while Hank Williams sang the blues. And he passed at the age of 29 in his big Cadillac well before his time. Those cheating hearts, he'll no longer pine. Well, this good old boy's eating jambalaya, that old doghouse way on high. He never got out of this world alive. And he passed at the age of 29 in his big Cadillac, well before his time. And those cheating hearts he'll no longer pine. For this good old boy's eating jambalaya, that old doghouse way on high. He never got out of this world alive. Do you remember the day Hank Williams died? I remember the day Hank Williams died. The song there with Hank Williams, who of course died in 1953, was away to a New Year's Eve concert. They pulled into a garage and the driver asked him, "Hank, do you want anything to eat?" He said no, and by the time he came back, Hank had gone. Great songwriter, great influence of mine and many others. We'll change it up this time to a song about a place called Fargo in North Dakota. There's a bar I used to play every time I was across in the US called Jack Dempsey's. And on the way back from one of the gigs on a Sunday evening, somewhat suffering, I started to write a song called The Road to Fargo. I'm on the road to Fargo, my wings have got a sore. I don't know what I left behind or what I'm looking for. The wind keeps on blowing, songs and music flow. My baby's heading north, gonna ride the buffalo. We're gonna ride the old red river that runs right through my soul, while searching for the answers to the questions I don't know. We ain't looking south, my baby's gone upstream. We'll cross the Mississippi while floating on our dreams on the road to Fargo. On the way to Fargo, the road to Fargo. Sure, we've had our troubles, we've had enough to last, but the water cleansed the soul that runs right through the past. The love, it keeps on growing, so let the water flow. My baby's heading north, gonna ride the buffalo. We're gonna ride the old red river that runs right through my soul, while searching for the answers to the questions I don't know. We ain't looking south, my baby's gone upstream. We'll cross the Mississippi while floating on our dreams on the road to Fargo. On the way to Fargo, on the road to Fargo. Road to Fargo, that North Dakota town, as the fields they whistle by and the whiskey's going down. The wheels keep on turning, we got 90 miles to go. My baby's heading north, gonna ride the buffalo. We're gonna ride the old red river that runs right through my soul, while searching for the answers to the questions I don't know. We ain't looking south, my baby's gone upstream. We'll cross the Mississippi while floating on our dreams on the road to Fargo. On the road to Fargo, on the road to Fargo. Yeah. On the road to Fargo. Song there called The Road to Fargo, of course, North Dakota, across in the beautiful part of the USA. Next song I'm going to do is a song that I wrote for one of my first ever albums. The album was titled Hopes, Dreams and Heartbreak. This is a song called If Love Was Just a Game. I wonder if I'd rather be alone than feel the pain again. Who's the fool that said that love was just a game that they play? Risk it all, they say. Love will always win through in the end. That's not the way it happens, I'm afraid, my friend, but that's okay. If love was just a game, then shouldn't the rules always stay the same? If love was just for fun, then it should never hurt someone. If love was just a game. In the movies, where someone runs to hold you in the pouring rain, they tell you they love you as they call your name. That's not the way. If you get to play the part, and if they do, it's really true and far apart. Most hope for a candle in the dark until the day. If love was just a game, then shouldn't the rules always stay the same? If love was just for fun, then it should never hurt someone. If love was just a game. But love is not a game. But love is not a game. Thank you. A song there called If Love Was Just a Game from one of my earliest albums. Well, folks, it's been a pleasure entertaining you. Thanks again to Colin and Anne and all those involved in the Belfast Nashville Songwriting Festival. It's always a pleasure. Song this time, my most recent single, got to #1 on the Hot Discs charts. I play across Europe and Irish America. And the idea came from the little mayfly that lives at Loch Ney. And what I found interesting was that it only lives for 24 hours, only lives for one day. So what would you do if you had just one day? These are some of my thoughts. A song called Queen of the May. I read of the mayfly, it lives for one day. At home in old Ireland, on the shores of Loch Ney. That got me to thinking, just what would I do if I'd only one day I would share it with you? Would we walk through the forest to hear the birds' song, then watch the sun as it rises at dawn? It's something to wonder, it's something to ponder. What would you do if you had just one day? How would you climb the mountain and reach for the stars, breathe in its beauty, alive with wildflowers? Would you hold close as the time drifts away? What would you do if you had just one day? I read of the mayfly, it lives for one day. At home in old Ireland, on the shores of Loch Ney. That got me to thinking, just what would I do if I'd only one day I would share it with you? Each moment is precious, the times that we have. Remember the times when we smiled and we laughed. On that night when you danced like the Queen of the May, as the sun it went down on the shores of Loch Ney. I read of the mayfly, it lives for one day. At home in old Ireland, on the shores of Loch Ney. That got me to thinking, just what would I do if I'd only one day I would share it with you? That got me to thinking, just what would I do If I'd only one day, I would share it with you. Song I've written called Queen of the Maid. Folks, thanks for listening. Thank you to Belfast National Festival. Thank you.